Hi there, welcome to near Wyckoff technical analysis session. If you're new to my sessions, these are the 3 key takeaways you can expect. So let's start with the weekly chart of near. And on weekends, I do express sessions, so it will be quicker than the weekday session, which I'll go in live discussing with you, answering your questions. But these sessions I conduct in stealth mode. Basically, you won't see it until I publish them. So here, near, it's been a while we touched on. So these lines are already, a month old at least. So I'm going to remove them and look at what's going on right now. Backup last point of support, that's when we were discussing about these 4 candlesticks, a month back. This did not happen. What that was actually another sign of strength. Not saying that this is over yet, so we're going to keep this because any time in future it may come back to like after a sign of strength there is a horizontal trading period that may become the backup last point of support stage. So this has happened. That basically was another test, just not as low, not closing as low as the test we have during late June. Okay, but when we get to the daily chart, we're going to see a spring right there, just this week. The volume, it has improved, after 2 weeks of silence because of the tariff announcement. Okay, people were seeking direction, and then finally it seems like they are regaining a little bit of confidence. So when we look at the daily chart, similarly, we asked quite a number of questions. Was that a backup last point support period? Would it, it looks like the tendency going to PSY was higher back then, but then eventually it turns out it came down for another test. Okay, and then eventually, that's what more interesting is. It came down to this point where this is even lower. Look at the wicks. Okay, it went even lower than the test back in late June. So this is essentially a spring to me. Okay, if we look across this accumulation cycle, nothing has gone this deep except the October 10th wick that poked all the way to somewhere between the white solid line and the red key level of around $1.83. This white line over there is the bottom edge of the long-term playground zone. The long-term playground zone basically is an area where since 2020, for the case of near, 70-80% of the time the coin has been trading within this area. Alright, so we are near the bottom of it. As of now, the spring, the bounce from the spring has got near to the sign of strength level that was in mid-late July as well as mid-August, and there were a couple of times over here during mid-September, mid-October as well. Okay, so as of now it looks like this sideways trading is going to continue. Okay, this may be further down the timeline. This is usually a stage that comes after the sign of strength. So it can still come down, but then comes up for a higher level consolidation before it shoots to the new distribution. So this, for now, I would say it's just 25%. Where does the other 75 goes, right? 25 goes to coming down to somewhere near the red, between the red and the orange key level of 1.83 to 2.69 for further tests, much like what happened back in August, okay, or even October. And then another 50% goes to this guy, meaning it may trade somewhere between the orange key level and the yellow key level of 3.73 before it goes to the PSY. So in the daily chart, it looks to me that's how it's going at the moment. Buying climax will be further in the future. Because of this breakout that happened, we haven't touched on it. There was a little bit of downward trend going on earlier. So if we draw a channel box right across these candles, we can see the price has been trading towards this point where it eventually finds sufficient buying power to bounce off from the red key level to break through this downtrend. Okay, just to show you what has actually happened. So just to recap, from the big picture perspective, this horizontal trading may continue until we see a clear sign that it goes above the previous automatic rally as well as sign of strength. So these levels right over there, currently they're still selling, quite a bit of selling. You see the wick from the top, so it seems like it's not ready yet until the point the volume catches up. So when the volume catches up over here, you see only just this day has that kind of volume. We need sustained similar volume or even higher to break through these levels. For near, it doesn't seem like it's ready yet. So when that happens, that's when it's got a chance to eventually get outside of the accumulation. So thanks for joining me for the near session today. See you in the next